So Sixers on the way back to Philly. And as we talked about last week, what we would be happy about with this road trip? Yeah, no, not so good. 1-4 during this road trip out west. Obviously capped off with the big win against the Clippers, the James Harden versus Sixers game. So I'm going to ask you guys, 1-4, not a lot of bright spots on this road trip, but if you guys are to look back at this 5-game stretch here, what were some of the high points and the lowest points of this trip that you guys saw this the last 5 games?
I mean, the high point is the one victory that you got. I mean, I think that's the high point, that you were able to go and secure a victory in a game that most people didn't think we would win. We caught the Clippers at the right time. For us, we were able to go in there and get a victory like other teams and Hawks and Pacers have gone in there and done. So that was crucial, especially with you turning right back around and playing them again. So I think for me, the low point is just, it's like the games are starting well, but then like as the game goes on, it's just like something always happens where all of a sudden we're not the same team anymore. So we look like a team to beat these teams, and we look like a team that we're not in their league. So to me, like that level of consistency is kind of like, where is that coming from? Like, why is that we can't maintain that level of consistency game after game for 48 minutes to give ourselves the best opportunity to win?
Yeah, it's really frustrating. The high point was obviously beating the Clippers. We had good seats. We were behind the Sixer bench, so I got to see the interaction a lot, which was awesome. I love seeing that stuff. I feel like the Clippers game, I feel like it was a movie where the two guys are battling, and like the one guy gets knocked off the ledge, and you think he's like fell off the cliff, and then like he grabs onto the ledge with that one hand, tries to pull himself up. That was at the Clippers game, and then the next game was like the stomping of the foot, and then like we fell back down off the cliff again, because the low point was everything else. Like Clippers was it. I'm glad we had one bright spot to hold on to. But it's not even the losses, it's the manner in which we're losing. We're getting like outclassed and beaten bad against teams. Yeah, they have good game teams on paper, but these teams are all battling to get in the playoffs. Like they've had rough seasons, all of them. I mean, they see us as like a limping antelope that they're just like tearing apart.
Yeah.
The Lakers game was in reach for some of it. I think the most winnable in game was probably that one. It was competitive for a decent amount. The other ones, not even really competitive down the stretch of it. I mean, King just firmly had us all night, pretty much. Going 2-2 would have been 2-2 would have been nice, but I would even take 1 of 3 of the games were competitive and they were heartbreakers and we like lost in the last quarter or something. But I mean, it's blowing out the Clippers and then getting badly beat by the Kings right afterward just makes no sense. I mean, the Kings are up and down. I guess they just played the right game. I would just want us to be at least competitive for these games, because the way we're playing, like down the stretch of these, are unwatchable toward the end. It's bad basketball. We have no identity without Joel whatsoever. And I get it. He's our best player, but we've played without him enough this season to at least start to get into a rhythm without him. Right? Like, so it's really frustrating. It's like the identity is Maxey throw up a million shots and hopefully you catch fire, which he did in the first quarter. But then the second, like his flame went out, we were done. We got dominated after that. So right now, the personality of our team is kind of like Tobias. Like, now you see me, now you don't type thing.
Yeah, what do you make of that, Eric? I mean, so yesterday, Maxey gets 26 points first half of the game, gets 3 points second half. Tobias on Sunday against the Clippers, 19 points in the first half, I think 3 in the second half. I mean, what do you think the reason for that is? Seeing guys go off either one half or the other, and it's just not kind of being a complete game.
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is we got to be honest and we got to be fair. it's hard to be the number one guy.
Yeah.
We got to get the number one guys more credit. It's hard to be that guy. That's why a lot of guys can't fill that void. Some guys are temporary fills. Some guys can do it in spurts. And that's what we have here now. Maxey's a young guy that's talented, but he's not a true number one yet. He can show you flashes. He can carry you. He can be the number one. But to maintain that consistency for a year, he's not there yet. And there's a lot of guys in this league that are really, really good that aren't there. But there is a difference between 1 and 2. There is a difference. What those guys like you can't take for granted what Joel was doing, because we have been able to witness other guys. That's just how good he is. So when you take that away, and to make up for that, you have to do it collectively, and individually, guys have to do more. And that's where the level of being able to do that has been a rocky road. Maxey's been asked to do more. Everyone's been asked to do more. So in order for it to change and the wins to come more often, that level of consistency of stepping up in the moment has to be there, and it has to stay there in order for it to happen. Teams are seeing us and be like, hey, we can get them now. So, and we go, and then all of a sudden it is easy to lack some confidence when you aren't winning as much. So you lack a little confidence. You get a little timid, you get a little hesitant. There aren't guys that are doing it all the time, but there are moments when that happens. But individually, guys have to just make it happen. Collectively, they got to make it happen. Got to be better defensively. Got to be better sharing the ball. Got to be better taking care of the basketball and rebounding. And from a staff standpoint, putting guys in position to do what they do best, however that can be done. Giving consistency where guys know when their minutes are coming and they know what their expectations and they'll be able to manage their expectations to be able to accomplish the things you want to accomplish and give yourself a chance in the end of games. That's why I said that was the most disappointing thing, is like great starts, then all of a sudden we're not in the games because we're not even getting to the chance. We're not even getting the chance in most games to even let it come down to the end where we're able to make some plays or get a stop or get some buckets, or Maxey can win a game for us in the last few minutes. Like we're not even getting that many opportunities for that to happen. And that's like really disappointing because of that. And I just I don't know, I'll give you an example. Like Joel goes down. I believe our first show, or maybe second show after that, we talked about, excuse me, how big of a role Paul Reed was going to have. Well, it seems to me like he might be playing less. That's how it feels. Now, I don't know why. We're not in the locker room, so we don't really know why. All I know is that level of not being consistent. I don't know how he can maintain the level of play you want him to maintain. So if I don't know who's going to play the majority of the minutes outside of maybe the key 3 guys or so, 2 guys. I don't know who's going to play the major minutes. We really don't know. So I think it's some figuring out that's going on with the staff too, figuring out what's going on with the players, but more than anything, it's guys are in and out of the lineup. Joel's out, but we still had other guys that are in and out of the lineup. I mean, Kelly's missed games and Melton's missed games. We don't even know the status of Melton. We keep talking about when is Joel coming back. We don't even know when Melton's coming back, if he's coming back.
I know.
So we don't know. So it's hard to say this team should be doing A, B, and C when we have a lot of things that are unanswered. Arguably your sixth man, if not starter. One starter is 1A and 1 as far as your scoring and your dominance. That's hard. That's hard to maintain. So when you for the stretch, it's really the stretch of games he's been out, like how long he's been out in straight run.
Yeah.
Because I believe Giannis might have missed quite a few games this year, but he didn't have these long stretches where he's out for a long time. And one way or another, we got to do something about it, because I know I don't know how many shows ago it was, but I know I said we were hopefully I didn't speak it in existence when I was saying that we were closer to the eighth seed. And
yeah,
luckily Chicago seems to be happy with where they are, because they could have been making some noise right now and getting a home game, which is what we really don't need in the play-in game, is to play on the road both 2 times.
Yeah. I've noticed too lately, I think when I was at the Clippers game, I was watching, I was 10 feet away from them, so I was watching real closely. And most of the game plan now is just throw as many bodies at Maxey as possible and make other people beat him. That's what I would do. I mean,
yeah.
You're going to try to force Harris to score 30 points and win? It's not going to, good. Yeah, bet on that. And the Clippers did that, and other guys actually did step up that game, but that's not going to be an every night thing. I think every team knows that.
Yeah.
So,
that's people are going to give him a crowd and give him more attention and 30 plus point games in that crowd. And that consistent activity coming your way.
Yeah. And they had Kawhi or George on them the entire second half. For the most part, from what I noticed. Yeah. Kawhi was his primary defender with most of the second half. And then when he was out, George would do it. And then sometimes Coffee would guard him toward the end of when they took everyone else out. Coffee was his guard, but
they wanted a bigger guy on him.
Yeah. Yep.
It speaks to what other teams think of him if they're putting Kawhi Leonard on him. That's definitely flattery.
I would expect to see that when they play against them on Wednesday.
A continuation of that?
Yeah, just put Kawhi on from the start.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have their own issues. I don't know if you saw Harden's comments today about their upcoming game in Philadelphia. He said we have our own issues to think about. I'm not even thinking about Philadelphia. Playing in Philadelphia. That's what he said. So now could be some rumblings going on in Los Angeles. Could be some things going on there. It's gonna be fun. Fireworks.
I like.
Yeah, he's not. James ain't worried about that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we'll see how it goes though.
Now the social media is trying to blame all their problems on George not signing the extension. Now,
and I've also seen the Westbrook starting to get his flowers. Actually, saying Westbrook not being there is the reason why they're having this rocky kind of stretch right now. So he's starting to get his flowers. I mean, it takes for them to lose a few games for them to give Westbrook his due.
Yeah,
I can see that. I mean, he brings something that nobody else on the team has. The energy.
Oh yeah.
Would you call Westbrook their glue guy?
He had a role and he played it well. I mean, I don't really get into glue guy. I'll just say he's the guy that's important to what they're trying to do. He was important to what they. I mean, at the same time, he can play, and he's one of the top guys that played this game at his position. So. So for them to have that, and for him to be willing to play less, come off the bench, make a sacrifice, and give all the energy and effort